Investors and traders, welcome to the channel. Market chart patterns. Today is 22nd of July 2024. Hope everyone is having a great day. We will be taking a look at the financial stocks and ETFs for the US market in this video segment. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and it's not financial advice. So let's start with the KRE, which is the S&P 500 Regional Banking ETF. And what we are looking at is the weekly chart. What we have seen is over the past few weeks, really good strength coming into this market, which is really good because these look at this market. This has been just going down for a long time. This is this all happened when we had the bear market of 2022 happening in the broad indices, stock market indices, and this is when the Silicon Valley Bank news started to come out, and the way it was falling like this, it was giving clues that something is happening in these smaller regional banks. But now, after hitting this 78.6% retracement, it's just been moving up nicely. It's taking its time right here. You can see that in 2024 on the weekly chart, it's just been sideways pretty much half the year, and now we have actually got a breakout happening. And the key pattern that we had been watching for was this ABCD, which could in fact take us to about $62 per share level. And the key point for us was that the market should not break below on a closing basis the $46 mark. Because that's our point C. So you can see ABCD, and we are looking at about $62, $61.80, $62 on the weekly charts. On the daily chart, however, I think we could have some sort of a pullback in play, and the reason is that the market has actually reached the 1.272 expansion of all this range, which lasted pretty much the first half of 2024. And I think $56.90 to $60 is kind of what we have on the daily chart, and then $62 we are looking at on the weekly chart. So there is a good amount of activity. It looks pretty strong now. Look where the 20 period moving average is, where the price is big gap here, supported by the 89 period moving average, 200 period moving average. So it's good to see some strength coming into this, which is also helpful for smaller caps stocks as well. Now let's take a look at XLF. There we go. It's a daily chart for XLF. Oh my goodness, why is it so slow? All right, okay, so XLF reached our target over the daily chart, 1.618 expansion, bang on, 43.91, went a little bit above 44. That's even better, and now it has pulled back for a couple of days. Which is kind of normal because this was the expansion, and we also had the ABCDs completing this big one, the black one. So pullback is happening. It's fine. Now let's just see how much this could extend, this pullback. So let's actually take, it's pretty much right at the 38.2% retracement there. So it's found some support. That's looking good. And let's see if we get some confluence levels. Here we go. It can pull back right into a little bit further, right into this kind of region. That's possible. That's gonna be the 38.2% retracement of all this move higher from this base. And then let's take a look on the weekly chart. Here we go. So the weekly chart is really interesting because we have higher targets as well. So I think we have this blue ABCD completing around the 49 mark, 49.25. The bigger one is even higher, but we'll just go with one thing at a time. So fair amount of resistance coming around 45. So I think we are actually going to see 43.98, 45, which is going to be 1.272 expansion. With anywhere between $49.25 to even $50 possible for the XLF. Now all this could change if we actually get a close below 39.56. That's this level 39.55, because this is our point C, then the upward projections that we are making, the pattern will be nullified. We'll still have some bigger patterns there, and of course those could fail, because if the market enters a more of a sustained pullback, correction, even a bear market, then all things can change. But a lot of support levels to be broken if that were to happen, and I don't see that happening at the moment. So I just wanted to put that scenario out as well. This point C, 39.55, really important level. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the individual stocks. We'll start with Goldman Sachs. Here we go. So this is the weekly chart of Goldman Sachs, and really nice to see that it actually broke above our 1.618 extension as well. So yeah, 518 is looks like where the stock wanna go. Pretty strong level. And then we could in fact have a really big ABCD in play as well. That's gonna be pretty exciting, but we'll take one thing at a time. So yeah, 518, as long as it remains above 466, this is where it's gonna go, most likely. And let's take a look at JP Morgan now on the weekly chart. Here we go. So the JP Morgan chart is really interesting because it went into the the zone we were expecting it to go into, which was around $216. Now, my view is that JP Morgan stock is actually likely to enter into a trading range environment, and perhaps we might actually begin to see distribution happening in JP Morgan stock as well. There's a possibility for that, and the reason is Jamie Dimon, who has been the CEO since 2006. Well, not the CEO. He became the chairman and the CEO since 2006, I believe. The stock has really performed magnificently well, and let me actually just show you what a beauty it is. Here we go. On the weekly chart, you see this really nice line here, this dotted blue line, how it joins these lows here. Every time market touch this, it bounced back, and ferocious kind of bounces these have been actually. That's all diamond effect, in my opinion. This is Jamie Dimon's leadership. This is diamond effect. This is what I like to call it. I'm gonna actually label it like that. And he has publicly announced that he's actually looking to retire. He hasn't given any timeline and stuff like that. So, but eventually it will happen, maybe in a few years' time, and he's actually putting together a team per the public articles I've read from Financial Times and stuff online, so you can actually Google about it. It's from where it is, where it kind of reached 2017 to 2025 is the kind of pretty big range that we had been watching for. So interesting is that we had actually also highlighted this blue pattern formation that you see, and the market went exactly there. So that's actually a I don't know whether some people like to call this like an ending diagonal kind of formation, some sort of a wedge, because it's got three touches there. But actually, we have really nice symmetry in here. So it's actually also a three drives to a top pattern. Doesn't mean that we actually see a, although we could see a significant top here, but most likely the market is going to consolidate. Look, it's such a nice, beautiful, strong trend. But we could see some sort of a pullback. That possibility is there. And then that past week, look how much of the gains it just gave back. So we'll have to see how this stock is going to trade this week. And there's also a possibility that, I don't know, maybe if it's going to be a next government and there's going to be a change coming in 2025 in the United States, there's a chance maybe Mr. Diamond could actually be tapped for the U.S. Treasury Secretary. I don't know. It's just thinking out loud as a possibility. And if that sort of thing happens, and if he agrees, to do that, then he'll be leaving the organization pretty quickly. And it's not uncommon for the bank CEOs to actually get this kind of top job. We have seen a quite a few CEOs from or senior management personnel from Goldman Sachs who have actually become the treasury secretaries. So Hank Paulson, who actually navigated the credit crisis. He was there. And then there have been some other numerous examples. You can Google about those. So, yeah, just thinking out loud. So we'll be keeping an eye, really close eye on the price action for JP Morgan. Now let's take a look at Bank of America. This is our favorite banking stock, and look what it has done. It has met our target and actually went above that. But I don't really like this kind of a doji formation on the weekly chart, really honestly. This is like a silent doji. It's like trying to give a message, perhaps. And, it just gapped up so much. I think it was because of the earnings. Let's actually have a look on the daily chart. Here we go. So look, the earnings came out. Boom. Wow. Look at this. And all those gains have been given back. So that's interesting, right? So from a longer term perspective, we have some really long term cycles. I did a video about it. I think you'll find it of real educational value. So there are some really long-term cycles operating in this stock, so that's why it's one of our favorites. But here's something I want to point out too. You look at this triangle here. Now I've not drawn this properly, but if I were to draw it, it's like got a 90-degree angle around here. And if we just join these boom, boom, boom tops, it was giving us a timeline. And the timeline is right here, 15th of July 2024. So in fact, it was forecasting something, that something probably could happen around here. So, I'm not going to go too much into the sacred geometry stuff. But if you were to actually draw a line like this, and you have well, it's not really a perfect square formation, but it's more like a rectangular formation, and it's got two triangles between them, and they have got some interesting angles around here. So yeah, this date as of past week, I think is pretty important, and this means that we could actually see a pullback happen in the Bank of America stock. Maybe it just comes back a few dollars around to the 20-week moving average, test these highs. It's also possible that maybe it just does a 38.2% retracement, and we can see a pullback right into about 36.50. That remains possible. But again, the week is not complete. But this silent doji is giving a silent kind of a message, in my opinion. And if we get a week close negative, then this means that on the weekly basis closed below the lows of the previous week. So that's actually more of a sell sort of a scenario, in my opinion. So we'll be watching this one next week. Okay, now let's take a look at Visa. Oops, here we go. So now Visa is, per my understanding, it's not a bank, but it's part of the XLF, right? So that's why I'm interested in taking a look at this, and I don't think we have actually looked on this one on weekly charts at least, but it's got some interesting patterns which are coming out. So one of them is like this. This is lows 2020 low, and my goodness, it has completed its ABCD. Let me make it a solid line. Here we go. Let me join these. Here we go. Boom. So Visa has completed a very nice ABCD, and it's a pretty big one because it goes back to the uh, COVID lows of 2020. And then let's take a look at the expansion, and boom, not quite 1.618 yet, but the ABCD is complete, which means that maybe it has one more chance where it can actually do an expansion like this, maybe 1.272, and then $300 mark might be where the stock could actually have a pretty important top coming in as well. So that possibility is there. And then let me actually see. Yeah, so this high actually came in between. Well, not exactly. It was quite a 252. So about $10 lower. I'm not sure if there was any ABC there, but yeah, looks like where the stock is. Maybe it has a little bit further to go with the 38.2% retracement here. So maybe you can pull back right into 252 perhaps. Structural support around here. Maybe do another uptrend right around the $300 mark, and then that could be a pretty strong. That's an obvious target, but also could be pretty strong resistance level. So that's for Visa. Let's take a look at now Citigroup. Okay, so yeah, it's just hovering around the 61.8% retracement, and what I can see is we have a wedge formation around here, like this. So yeah, if it's able to fall below the bottom of this, then I think it's got a chance to actually move much lower. It's already doing a top of the wedge pattern there. So yeah, we should see some more strength come in this. Otherwise, it's beginning to look bearish now. Let's take a look at Morgan Stanley. Here we go. This is the weekly chart for Morgan Stanley. And this is what we were discussing last time, that it's gone right into this gap formation right here between top of this wick and the top of this candle's top. And yeah, maybe there is a chance it just goes and tests the top of this here, where the black ABCD is 108, 109 level. But it's just doing inside bars at the moment, so I don't have much much to say about this. The only chance will be if it's able to clearly break out of this high coming in from January of 2022, February of 2022. Then we could have a bigger ABC, but at the moment looks like it could be a fair amount of resistance level. So this is what we are watching, Morgan Stanley. And then let's take a look at last but not least is the Wells Fargo. Here we go. This is the weekly chart of Wells Fargo. So here, actually, a couple of weeks ago, we have seen, I don't know, maybe it had to do with the earnings. Yeah, I think the earnings came out on the Friday, 12th July. And look at this. This is a fair amount of, wow. So the earnings might not have been that good, or maybe they were good, but the market reaction was that it actually fell to the bottom of this range. And then I don't know, maybe it looks like more like short covering to me. All those people who went short covering this and went back right to the top of this range. So bottom of the range here, top of the range here, and now it's just kind of in the middle of the range. It is consolidating. And on the weekly chart, this is what we were discussing. It's also gone right into this gap formation right here, and we were discussing a potential for a head and shoulder pattern. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then a smaller one here that there is some symmetry here, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So yeah, we are beginning to see some selling pressure come into this, and this entire price action, if you look to the left, kind of looks similar. Maybe there's some distribution coming around here. So the only way I think that this thing will be bullish is in the sense that it could complete the bigger ABCD. This purple one, if it's able to get above this gap, get above these highs on closing basis. Otherwise, it looks like at least a pullback is coming, and then maybe $50, $51 might be kind of an area coming in from the structural support. So this is what we are looking at, some of these key financial stocks and ETFs. And if you like our video, then please hit the like button, and if you like our technical analysis, then please do think about subscribing to the channel. But if you do, then hit that bell icon button. That way you will know when the new videos are posted. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon.